Tuesday, and then we're going to build on to that. If Jay goes on his back. So first thing, I just want us kind of playing around with passing the guard again. We're not resisting at this point, but it's just making sure that we're linking our techniques together and our strategies together. So whatever guard pass, so if you're newer guys, it might be that double knee tap pass, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, you might be working your kind of more Mendes sort of style of stuff with slicing across. Back steps, all the things that we've done over the last year. Okay, once we get into side control, establish his position, he's going to keep his frames because yeah, we're imagining we're going with someone who knows what they're doing, so they should always have that frame. Quick recap, anytime the elbow comes away from the chest, that's when you've got the opportunity to something. Okay, so that's what we're trying to go for. So make sure I've got this underhook in the far side, so near side, far side. If he keeps his elbow tucked in nice and tight, I can use my hand and use that thing lock just to separate a little bit. I tend to do that before I actually start pressing down for the Americana to begin with. If he keeps his elbow close to his chest and I try and push down here, even with two hands it can be quite difficult. Taking the elbow away from the chest and even squishing the head up a little bit just makes it a bit easier to get that separation. Yeah, from here, roll your shoulder, hand down, get your first submission, which is your Americana. Reverse, I'm just going to say rev the engine. I know you don't do this, but rev the engine, elbow down, lift up, heat, release, then into that straight arm lock, hand over the top. Align your forearm with the elbow joint, so sometimes this can be hard to see because we obviously have a gi in the way, but kind of feel for that elbow. Lift this arm up, push down, get your second tap. Okay, so we're just going to work on that as a bit of a drill, warm-up drill, but also a recap of what we did Thursday. Okay, one more time. Separate the elbow from the chest, hand down, elbow next to the ear, rev the engine, bring the elbow down, lift up, release, he straightens, follow, make sure your weight's not going too far over, elbow in line, rev the engine, and push down. Yeah. Have a go. On three. 1, 2, 3. Do both. So like you end up in like a little bit of a triangle position, so you've got your hand on the top, that's pushing down. This is creating a little bit of a bridge so that the hand's going further down, it's creating a much more severe angle. Remember, it's the same thing as a normal arm lock, yeah, where we're putting something behind the elbow and we're forcing the elbow to bend the wrong way. The way that we can kind of find out which way to push is where the thumb's pointing. So if the thumb's pointing up, yeah, we're going down. If it's slightly to the side, we can adjust. And I'll show you the adjustment in a second, but then the angle ends up being this way. Okay, so we just need to kind of keep that in mind. Again, arm length does play a bit of a thing on this. So if someone's got really long arms, when I get to here, my hand's down in this position, yeah, I can't create, even if I put that little bridge on, enough of a range of motion to kind of cause the elbow to lock. Okay, so I want to be quite close to the hand. I don't have to be on the thumb or anything, but that little bridge is now creating enough of an angle to create the arm up and make the arm bend the wrong way. Okay. If he does turn his thumb, yeah, so he turns his thumb that way, I can have a little play kind of changing my hand position and pulling towards it. If it comes the other way, put into my shoulder and push down. It does get harder though, right? Ideally, we want to, if we do move the thumb around, grab the thumb and make the thumb point to the ceiling, okay? And this is where, as a shorter person, if you're controlling lower down, I lose the ability to be able to control his thumb. So he starts moving his thumb now, really difficult. If I'm closer to the thumb, he does the same, I can control his ability. Okay, so this is where I can then he now tries to come out, makes it more difficult, and that's where I'm going to get the submission from. So just kind of have a look at that. If you've got short arms, tough, there's not a damn thing I can do about it, but I can give you some different options. Okay, which is the next bit. You long guys with long arms, look how happy you look. It's okay, we'll get you soon. On three. 1, 2, 3. High press at their own elbow. Or some people have got really good flexibility. So mine's got really good flexibility. Like James Doyle, who was here 2 weeks ago, he can make his elbow bend the wrong way. Okay, so he can make his elbow do that. So it still hurts him. It gets to a point where there's a break and there's definitely pain. but his ligaments naturally can bend a long way. So the reason why we're using this as a little bit of a combination is we've got options, so we don't have to wait in one position trying to attempt one submission. Yeah, we can start opening up and going for other submissions. Because these three particular moves do work quite well together. Okay, we always piece these together and we call it a mouse trap. Okay, so whichever way his hand goes, yeah, I can submit. There's always a submission that I can try and attempt. So when we get to here, where's the next place that he can take his hand? Down. Down, so from down. Okay. So this is where we now start looking at our Kimura. Once we do this, we have to switch a little bit. Okay, so there is a little bit of movement on this one. Okay. This arm at the moment, this is the hand that needs to go and grab his wrist. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. I'm going to take my elbow underneath. I'm going to switch my hip as well. Okay, and make sure that the thumb comes nice and high. Okay, what I don't want to do is I don't want to lose this underhook. Okay, this underhook is kind of important. Okay, I track the hand up and grab the wrist. As soon as I do that, what I don't do is take his hand close to his pants or his belt, because this is where he can now grab his own pants and belt to prevent the submission. So when I go, I'm kind of pushing it away from his body. Okay, elbow comes on the inside. So if he tries to go towards his pants now, I've got that barrier. Okay. Next logical thing is this hand is going to come to wrist. So it's the exact same thing as we were doing with the Americana, just slightly different position. Rev the engine, okay? And now I want to take the hand behind his shoulder. Now, what's my biggest issue at the moment?
Moving back.
Moving back? Something's stopping me from being able to take his hand backwards.
All right.
The floor.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to lift up a little bit. I don't want to lift him on top of me. I can still try and take the submission and do that, but this is in a great position to finish. And if things go wrong and he extends his hand out, can't mouse trap but someone's on top of it. Okay? So I just want to create enough room where I can take that hand slightly past. Okay? Doesn't have to go all the way over here, it just needs to go past my body. And then when we start taking the hand up, yeah, we're putting a lot of strain again on that anterior delt and the rotator cuff. Okay, this is, we have to be really careful. Because we're hip switching and doing some other stuff, let's do it super slow. Okay, if you kind of slip or you fall wrong, you can hurt your shoulders quite bad. Okay, so the hand goes down, and thumbs all the way down, so I follow up down. Okay, lift, arm underneath. First thing, just get that position. Okay, next, rev the engine, so his hand comes in slightly, so we start at like a 90 degree, comes in slightly, lift, and take the hand backwards. Okay, keep everything nice and tight. This arm hugs and squeezes in. Okay, if it's loose, sometimes it can be hard to get that submission, or you can thumb out. So thumbs up, now we're back into, yeah, attacking for here. God damn it. Yeah. Make sense? Have a go. Come on. 1, 2, 3. A couple of slight adjustments which might help us a little bit. And again, this really depends on sometimes arm length. Ideally, what we want for a Kimura is a 90 degree angle on our arm, so like the box thing, into dancing. But like that's the key kind of position that we start with. Okay, so remember, most of this hand comes in towards our gi, a belt, a pants we can grab to help prevent that arm going through. The other thing as well is, if we're facing down, it's really hard to take that arm all the way over here. And the adjustment that I'm making kind of most at the moment is dropping the hip, so dropping the opposite side hip. So if I want to push this hand over here, it's really difficult if I'm facing down. Okay, it's possible if I'm all the way over facing the wrong way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my hip. So I'm still keeping my weight on top, but there's a little bit of a lift. Yeah. So like straight away, because I'm keeping this tight as well, he's already getting that first initial attack on his arm and his shoulder. Okay. Going to be a little bit looser, just so that we can get that kind of emphasis. Yeah. And from there, it's easy for me to push this hand over here, and that's where we get that good Kimura position. Sometimes arm length can be an issue. Okay. And some people actually prefer this. If I take my angle in a little bit to like a 45 degree angle, we call this a chicken wing, because it looks like a chicken wing. It does. So from there to there, then this can be a little bit easier, but we're still using the same grip, okay? So I've got to be conscious that you can't grab his gi, but it's actually a little bit more powerful, this one. Alright, so start off in the Kimura 90-degree angle, and then same thing we were doing before, I'm going to rev the engine and pull the hand in. So you see I'm using that little bridge, so I'm doing that same thing, yeah, using that hand here, doing the same, and pulling the hand in a little bit. So Kimura, chicken wing. Okay, that elbow's still planted on the hip. So if he does try to grab his own pants or anything, I've got that little bit of a frame. Same deal, drop the hip and push back. I don't need to do that too much because I've got bad shoulders, but then we're going to start looking through. Okay? Have a go at the chicken wing, see if that maybe helps a little bit. Alright, on 3, 1, 2, 3.